OK, let's focus now then back on the British side of it. I mentioned just now we're going to be talking to Arnaud Mafille. He's from the human rights group CagePrisoners, and pleased to say he's joining us now live in London from outside the Guardian building. Hi there, Arnaud. Nice to see you. Thanks for being with us. David Miranda was detained under this anti-terrorism law, Schedule 7 of the Terrorism Act. Is that law, as you see it, being misused here then, as far as he's concerned?
OK. Schedule 7 is a very abusive law, and we at CagePrisoners we've gathered many testimonies of people who've been without any valid justification held for many hours and screened and interrogated about things that have very little to do with terrorism, just like Mr. Miranda. And actually the very problem is not with the way that this law is used, but it's the law in itself that grants abusive powers to police and security agencies. As for Mr. Miranda, we can see very clearly that his case has nothing to do with terrorism. It has everything to do with his partner being a whistleblower and bringing to the attention of the public some of the abuse that the American authorities are carrying. So that's the main thing. So
you talked about this law being abused, and you represent people that have fallen foul of this law, if you like. What's wrong with it then? Is it because this law is badly worded and is open to abuse, or just this law is wrong as you see it, full stop?
Yeah, well, this law grants power that are just enormous. Like, to put it very simply, you have more right if you're suspected criminal in a police station than if you're an innocent man questioned in an airport. If you're in a police station suspected of a crime, even murder, you have the right to remain silent to an extent. You have the right to a lawyer, and etc., etc. When you're held under Schedule 7, even though you're told that you're not suspected of anything, because there's no need for suspicion to detain people at the airport, you have no right to remain silent, otherwise you face a prison term, and you have no right to a lawyer. So that's the problem.
So what's the point of this law then, as you see it? Is it just an intimidation tactic, or is it genuinely there to ensure security for a country? Well,
from what we know, and I've been through it myself, the questions that are asked have very little to do with terrorism and security. It has everything to do with profiling, be it religious or ethnic or political. I myself have been detained for 9 hours, and the questions that were put forward to me had nothing to do with terrorism, had to do with my religious practice, my ideas about Palestine and Iraq, and my work with the CagePrisoners. And it's the same for many. We've got countless testimonies of young Muslims that are being detained and asked about, their communities. And at the end of the day, very often they bring MI5 to them and try to pressurize them into working for the MI5 and spying on their community, which is unacceptable.
Arnaud, interesting to hear how you've been affected by this too, the same way it sounds like as David Miranda. Thanks for your thoughts. Thanks for being on the programme, and we appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
As I say there.